guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Irvin, with another manga review. Now this one's going to be on Delicious in Dungeon, the third volume. This is definitely kind of a food manga that you guys can pick up. Now what's special about this one is that it's kind of goes around monsters that don't particularly live, in our world. So the second volume had a lot of recipes that weren't really monster based. This one had a lot of recipes, but a lot of them were monsters. So the monsters there on the back cover, and a lot of times they put the monsters that they'll eat or just encountered. This one you encounter the mermaids, the tentacles, the fishmen, the undine, the giant kraken, and the giant frogs, which is the last chapter of this volume. So if you haven't seen my other reviews for the second and the first volume, I welcome you to guys watch that so you can learn more about the story. But essentially, you have this group of people that are traveling in this dungeon to save one of the guys' sister. So in the second volume, you're introduced to a second group of people who kind of are knocked out, and then these guys help them really to destroy the monsters that are attacking them, but they don't realize they did. In the third volume, they show up again, and there's another misunderstanding. So I think it's hilarious, and I'm just wondering when they're gonna actually meet each other while they're both conscious. So I wonder when that happens. But they essentially are going through this level, and it's an aquatic level, so they're trying to cross through an area, and they encounter these different monsters. So overall, pretty good. The thing I like about this series overall, and I said it in my other reviews, is the fact that it doesn't base it itself only on food. Now, every chapter does have a recipe, and every chapter does kind of follow the story of, okay, we kill something and we're going to eat it. But it doesn't focus mainly on that. It goes beyond that, and that is on the fact that it works on a story that is a good story. I am very intrigued. At the end of this volume, I'm going to read it. You guys don't like spoilers, you can pause the video right now and then listen to it later. But at the end of this volume, they essentially start wearing these giant frogs as suits, and they are preparing themselves to go visit the Red Dragon, which is where the sister is. Now, another thing you need to know about this kind of world is that if you're in the dungeon, you kind of you can see it two ways, and I guess to fully understand it is when you come out what happens. But you either don't die and just you just kind of go in a state where you're very hurt, and then someone has to go and cure you, or you die but you can revive. So why is it so particular? And they actually mention it in this volume, they kind of talk about it, how that's kind of creepy and weird. Why is it important to know this? I particularly was very interested when I first actually put it in perspective with this volume, and that's just because if you actually die but you're revived, and that's part of a curse of the dungeon, well, if you leave the dungeon, do you die? Or what happens? Or are you actually revived? I mean, to what extent does the magic go? The other part, I guess the other side of the coin is and which would make more sense is if you die, you actually die, you just get really hurt to the point where you lose limbs, stuff like that, and that's okay. But someone goes and heals you, you don't actually die, you're just extremely hurt, and they heal you, so when you come out of the dungeon, you're still alive. And that one would make more sense, because then once you leave the cursed magic, you would still be alive. So anyways, I am very, very intrigued for them to reach this Red Dragon, and also to kind of explain that more, or go more into detail. So if you haven't heard of this and want to read it, I'll leave it in the comment section below, also in the description below, where you can buy this and learn more about it. So make sure you go buy it, and yeah, overall, guys, a good one. I recommend it, and if you want to hear more about it, I will make sure to be reviewing the next volume, which is volume 4. We'll be coming out pretty soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can hear more about them. And guys, like always, don't be strangers.